Hey guys, Floprator again, and today we're back here in my redstone testing world. We're going to be doing just a quick tutorial on how to use different parts of a redstone contraption. And today we're going to be doing the comparator, or as I like to call it, the black magic box, because that's really what it is. It's really hard to get a grasp on how the comparator works, and today I'm going to try and make it easier for you guys to understand how everything with the comparator works. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that we need to talk about is comparators, how fast they activate and deactivate. Normal redstone is instant, but the comparator actually has a 1-tick delay with turning on and off, which can make for some nice delay circuits and also some cool clock ideas and stuff. So if I turn this on, you can see there's 5 comparators, so it's 5 ticks of delay coming out that side. Turn it off, same thing. And also another fun fact is that the signal strength that goes into the back of the comparator, if there's nothing changing the signal strength from the sides, the same signal strength will come out of the front. So if you have a lever right next to here, let me just grab this redstone, turn it on, it'll still be the same full strength redstone coming out of the back there. So just a good thing to keep in mind. There is delay and they keep the same signal strength, and because it keeps the same signal strength, it can be used for some nice pulse extenders. So if you want to, say, have a button or an increased pulse of any sort, you want to use a circuit sort of like this. You turn it on, all these comparators light up, and then when you turn it off, as you can see, the lever's been off for a while, but the lamp doesn't turn off until all the pulse is finished being used up by all the comparators in the loop. Now, the next thing it can be used for is all these container devices here. Comparators can actually detect how full the container is and then output that signal strength through redstone. So if we have 1 stack of cobblestone in a chest, comparator will turn on and actually show 1 redstone dust lit up. And as you can see, we put another stack in and another redstone dust lights up. We put another in, nothing happens. If we put 4 stacks in, as you can see, it's up to 3 redstone dust. We put some more in, I think it exponentially increases. Now we have 4 dust lit up, and then 5 dust, and then eventually go up to 6 dust. There's the 6th dust that lit up, and then 7 dust. And the more redstone, or the more stuff you put into the chest, the more redstone that will be lit up behind. And this also works for furnaces. If you put a stack of cobblestone in, it lights up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 redstone dust. So not as much as a full chest would do, but it's still a pretty good amount. It can also be detected by droppers. Put 1 in, you get 2 redstone dust. Put another one in, you get 2 more redstone dust, and of course a full dropper will give you completely the highest signal strength you can get, which lights up to all the way over there. And same thing goes, this is actually a dropper, same thing goes with a dispenser. It'll light up all the way over there. And can also, if you have a minecart on a chest that's on top of a detector rail, it will also do the same thing as if it was just a normal chest. And this also works for a hopper minecart. As you can see, it lights up a bunch more. And now some different things. There's still container blocks, but they work a little bit differently. Of course, the shulker box is the same as a chest, but we also have things like an item frame. If you have nothing in an item frame, there will be, of course, no output, but if you put, say, an item in, now we have 1 output, and as some of you might have guessed, if we turn this in the frame, now we have 2. Turn it again, now we have 3. Turn it again, we have 4. If we go all the way around to here, we have 8 signal strength being put out of the comparator. And then of course as soon as it turns back to this, we go back to having 1. Now also something like a cauldron can detect signal strength. If we put this water in here, we get a signal strength of 3 out of the comparator. And of course as we use up the water, now we only have 2. And ignore this, we still have the arrow in there. And use another one, there's just 1, and if we completely empty the cauldron, there's no more signal strength. And then we can use these water bottles, put it in a brewing stand, we can see we get 3 signal strength out of that. Put another one in, we should have 6, and then put another one in. Oh wow, my textures are messed up. Put another one in, and we should have 9 signal strength. So, nice thing to use for automatic potion brewing, any kind of contraption you want to use. Also, if you have a chest on this side, on the other side of a block, the comparator can actually tell how full the chest is from through the block. So if you don't want to have comparators showing on the other side of your wall, like you can see that through, if you want to have a solid wall behind, just use this contraption and it can still tell how full the chest is from through that wall. Other things that give comparator outputs are things like Eyes of Ender, which give the full signal strength, and things like jukeboxes can also give out signal strengths. So if we put in certain music discs, the music disc, depending on what it is, will give a certain output. So this is the music disc 13. You give 1 signal strength. If we were to put in cat, we get 2 signal strength. If we were to put in blocks, we get 3 signal strength. And this goes on and on with chirp having 4, far having 5, mal having 6, Melohi having 7, stall having 8, strad having 9, ward having 10, 11 having, of course, 11, because if it had something other than 11, that would be weird. And then weight having, of course, 12 signal strength. So, and the last thing, at least for 1.12, which I'm playing in right now, is cakes. If I give myself some hunger right here, let me set it to peaceful set it off of peaceful really quick. If I get rid of all my hunger bars, as you can see, you put this down, the full cake has, oh dear, I'm dying from the hunger. Full cake gives off a good amount of signal strength, but as we start to eat it, we should see that stuff starting to depower more and more. You can see it's getting less and less until we eventually have 1 slice of cake left, which gives out 2 signal strength. And now we have 0 signal strength because the cake is gone. Okay, now that we've gotten all the pretty simple stuff with the comparators out of the way, let's go to the more technical side that nobody understands most of the time. So of course, whenever you put an output, or if you put an input into the back of the comparator, it'll give an output of the same amount of signal strength that you put in the back. So this is a 15 signal strength, and this should be also 15. And as you can see, this comparator has this little front knob turned off. It can be either turned on or turned off. Right now, this is in compare mode. And basically what this is if the signal strength from the side is higher than the signal strength from the back, it will turn off the front output. So you can see right now the back signal strength is actually higher, so nothing happens when I flick this lever. But if I were to flick this one, as you can see, we have 1 less signal strength going into the back, and 1 more on the side. Whenever we turn on the side, it actually turns off that signal strength from the front. And this is good to be used for a lot of logic circuits and stuff. I won't go into too much detail since they're just really confusing and hard to work out, but we also have comparators that are in subtract mode. So basically whenever you put down your comparator, it'll normally have this little thing off on the front, but if you right click, it can turn it on, and that will turn it into subtract mode. And as you guessed, this does a lot of subtraction. So basically whatever signal strength is coming in from the back, it takes that and then subtracts whatever's coming in the side and then outputs that signal strength. And just so you know, it can be used on either side. I just chose the right side for all of these tests, but you can use the left side for anything. So if we were to put a signal strength of 15 into the front, as you can see, it outputs a signal strength of 15. But if I were to count up to, if I were to put a signal strength of 1 into the side, as you can see, this last redstone turned off. And I can prove that by getting redstone lamp. Whenever it's off, the redstone lamp is on, and whenever this is on, the redstone lamp is off. So basically you can take any signal strength on the side and it'll subtract that. So let's say we wanted to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signal strength out. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 redstone dust are not lit anymore. If we were to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can see 10 redstone dust is turned off. And if we were to do 15 signal strength, it would turn off all the redstone dust because 15 minus 15 is 0. So a lot of math going into this. And of course, if we take, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signal strength, put into the back of this, we have 5 coming out the front. And then if we were to subtract, say, 2 from that, we only have 1, 2, 3 redstone dust lit up. So lots of different things you can do. Logic circuits are greatly improved with the comparator. Oh, and one quick thing is if you have, say, a signal strength of 3 going in the back and 13 going to the side, of course it will be turned off because it's a negative number, and if you have a negative number output, it'll just stay turned off. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about the comparator. One other thing you might want to know about is comparator clocks, which is basically if you have a comparator on subtract mode set like this, and then you turn it on, it'll do a constantly firing redstone tick, because the redstone comes out of the front and then subtracts from the side, and then turns it off from the front, which turns off the side, which turns on and off. And this is nice for firing droppers or dispensers over and over. As you can see, it powers the dispenser over and over. And you can also modify this by, say, putting a repeater out the front right here, and this will make a slightly, excuse me, I need to put it right here. And this will make a slightly slower clock, can make it to be really slow. Just add more repeaters for the more amount of delay you want on your clock. But anyways, guys, that's been my overview of the comparator. This is a very brief overview, so if you still don't understand, that's okay. If you want me to do an overview on another type of redstone circuitry piece, definitely leave that idea down in the comments and I'll do an overview on that. If nobody leaves a comment, I'm planning on doing the observer next. And yeah, if you enjoyed, if this was helpful to you, definitely make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.